Hello everyone, how's it going? My name's Harden Pickle and welcome back to another Satisfactory live stream. The course of the next week is going to be rather interesting, and I have got a very quick timetable that we are going to go through. If you do want to skip over this part, don't worry, just fast forward a minute if you guys are watching this on the VOD, but if you're watching live, then welcome, because we have got an action-packed week of Satisfactory. Starting with today, we've got, well, Satisfactory. I know, what a surprise. Tomorrow, of course, is update 1.2, so I will be streaming Satisfactory. Wednesday, again, Satisfactory. Thursday, Satisfactory. Friday, I have already talked about this on Saturday, but what I want to try and do for next Friday is some sort of mystery stream. So I don't quite know what I'm going to be streaming yet, but as of right now, it could be Subnautica Below Zero, Subnautica, just regular Subnautica. I think Slime Rancher 2, because I just got that game for free and I played it for about 15 minutes and thought, you know what, that's pretty cool. Planet Coaster, City Skylines, Fall Guys, I think Rocket League is in there as well. And I'm essentially just going to choose one game at random. Whatever game I either decide or I'm going to do it via a lucky wheel, I'm not quite sure yet. But Friday is going to be a mystery game, which again, I won't find out until about an hour before I actually start streaming so I can get that thumbnail ready and all the good stuff. Saturday, we are going to return with Satisfactory, and Sunday, some Star Rupture. Now, that is just for the live streams. I have actually got a couple videos planned, because I saw that Let's Gamer Out recorded a Star Rupture video. I've reacted to it. I'm currently editing the video off camera, obviously, and it was a painful video to watch, but actually quite educational as well. It was interesting, so I am going to have that reaction come out sometime this week, which means that a couple of these days are going to be double uploads. Of course, Wednesday, or maybe even Tuesday, is going to be a double upload where I make a video talking about everything that's new at update 1.2. I go over all the new items, we test out fluid trucks. I'm sure I'll have a dedicated fluid truck video where I answer everyone's questions like how much liquid can you store? Is it better than transporting it as a solid? Other questions which people might have, I don't know. Have they fixed vehicles? Have they added new vehicles? Probably not. So, yeah, we've got a few questions regarding that. So that will most likely be addressed on the 17th, which is tomorrow or Wednesday. So that should be rather interesting. Any other videos planned? Yes, I have a potentially disappointing video coming out. You know how I've got that short... I suppose it's a series, isn't it now? I've got a short series called Guess That Satisfactory Item. Essentially, I wanted to release the first 7 episodes, or a week of episodes, to see how it would do, and people really enjoyed it, so I released 10 episodes. The problem is, as I explain the story when I get into the actual game itself, I am going away for 9 weeks to America, and I can't stream, I can't upload videos, unless I prepare videos beforehand. So I thought, what is the easiest way for me to prepare essentially 60 to maybe 90 videos to release? Well, that shorts series is most likely going to be the answer. So over the summer, what I've decided to do is rather than release, let's say, for example, for the next couple of months, all of those daily shorts videos, instead release them when I'm not actually here. Because if I upload nothing for 2.5 months, that's going to be quite dire, not just for you guys but also for me, because I want to upload content, and of course I can't do that when I'm not actually here. So that's going to be the easiest way I can get that sorted. There we go. I've noticed every time I load into the game my mouse sensitivity changes, which is kind of annoying. There we go, good. So the series will be stopping. I'm not going to end the series though, I'm really enjoying it so far, but I am having to take a very small break just so I can have content to upload a little bit later on. Let me just check I'm live, because again, sometimes I press live and I'm not actually live. But I think we're good. I think we're okay. But yes, update 1.2 tomorrow. That's pretty exciting. There we go. I don't want to have to hear my own voice. This is what we've got so far as the entrance to our facility. I don't hate it. I've now got a good concept that I was working on off camera. I forgot to bring the images up on stream to show you guys, but it's fine because it's not that interesting. But basically, This is going to be a massive wall, that's going to be a massive wall, and then we're going to be joining them together with a much bigger skyscraper somewhere over there. That's basically it. So let's plop in our blueprint designer, and let's continue designing. Which is often a thing you do in the blueprint designer, is design things in the designer. Crazy, I know, right? There we go. So, the first thing that I want to try and work on, I suppose we are going to be splitting these two blueprints as an upper blueprint and a lower blueprint, just so I can edit it in here. But let's try and find out, how tall is this actual design? It's about 14, 15, 16, is that 17? I can't even go that high, can I? I mean, I clearly have, so I don't know how that's possible. Oh well. So the bottom floor then, let's see. How tall are you going to end up being? Are you even lined up properly? You are, yeah you are, you're just being a bit weird. Just fine. So you're roughly here. That's not too bad. But that's only 6. And the other one, I can't make that 11, well, technically 44 meters tall, because that would then go out of the blueprint designer. So in theory, you have to preferably be 36 meters tall. Quick maths right there. That's doable. I don't like that, but that's necessary because otherwise that would just disappear. So, oh well. Anywho's, anyhows. 9. That's 10, obviously. I can just trim off that top layer. No dramas there. Brilliant. Okay. How much concrete do I want here? Probably a fair amount, I would say. But nothing drastic. Maybe, you know what I'll do? I'll turn you into concrete. Do I want to make it stick out? Otherwise, it would be quite flat. I think I potentially do. Let's just let's experiment. I'm here to have a little bit of fun. This is our final day of preparation before update 1.2, so we might as well enjoy ourselves a little bit. I don't mind that. I think. I did actually design a concept for in our last stream, didn't I? Welcome, Wicked Jamrock. Hope that you're doing good. First one in the stream today. Now, what exactly was our concept? I think it was something like this. Then... yeah, I remember it now. We made this slightly bigger, didn't we? Yeah. Because you were out by half a click. Then you two were also out by about half a click. Or half a nudge. Sorry, not half a click. Because that right there is a full nudge, and that's quite large for what I want to try and do. So if I can split it like that, it's not too bad. Then what I can try and do is paint you a nice carbon steel. There we go. Just slightly darker, of course. Yeah, 1.2. I am looking forward to it. Yes. Absolutely, I am. I don't want to overhype myself, but at the same time, from the sounds of it, especially that new game mode, which we still don't know much about, I think it is going to be a rather fantastic update. And potentially the only update of the year. So, yeah. See what it's like. There we go. Now, of course, this is going to go into the glass a little bit, but that's actually okay. Because I think what I'm going to end up doing anyway is adding in you guys. Which I noticed for this particular project I have been using religiously. But if they work, well, that's fine with me, honestly. There. Love that. Are you positioned correctly? I don't think you actually are. Ready to start a new game tomorrow. Ah, nice. There's something very satisfying about starting a new game of Satisfactory. For me, it's probably my favourite part of Satisfactory is starting a brand new world. Because sometimes I limit myself due to maths and logistics and preparation. But early game, I don't do that. I just play the game and hope that it goes relatively well. So that's probably why I like it so much. It is a good laugh, though. Is that correct? Yeah, that is correct. So the way that I've designed this, as you can see, we can see the layers here. So rather than just connecting this wall to that wall, we've now got a bit more depth, which I do... I like it. It's fine. From this side, it's okay. We have gone up by an extra wall, though, so that is going to have to go... Yeah. Okay. Same thing then with that. Where shall I spawn? Ooh. I've been thinking that as well. If I was to do a new series, where would I go? And honestly, I don't know. I've been to the Dune Desert too many times. Wait. Rocket Factory, or Rocket Fuel, Exterior, Straits, 00. Okay, good, I've spelled it correctly. Okay. Welcome, Goats. Hope that you're doing well. We'll be starting a new one as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense. They are adding in a few new things. I think it massively depends on that game mode as well. Like, I'm really starting to wonder, what do they mean by that? What can they possibly add as a new game mode? Either way, I'm excited for it. And I suppose I can test it out some more. Oh, I just realised. I've got a path here. And I've just built a massive wall, haven't I? So, brilliant. Oh, I'm such a good architect, honestly. Brilliant. Well done. That could be very easily resolved. I'm not massively concerned about that, though. Then you'll just connect up there. Of course, this isn't what the actual blueprint's going to look like. It's just a little test. Okay, you're then going to connect like so. We've also got a big gap here as well. I don't quite know what to put in here. There's a few items we can add. One thing that I literally just thought about right now, and I didn't really want to use, but let's see, is potentially this. Let's just do this for a few meters. How would this look? That could look interesting. I don't know. The random nodes, there's no random nodes, unfortunately. There's a mod, I think, where you can get random nodes. They were saying that that could potentially be teased in the new Satisfactory game mode, but we don't yet know. Nothing's confirmed. The stone field. Where's the stone field? Do you mean the grass fields? Or the rocky desert? Because the four main starting biomes is the grass fields, rocky deserts, northern forest, and dune deserts. I often start in the dune desert because it's just the best, in my opinion. Especially early game, it's relatively flat. Just build a little bit above the highest dune desert and you've got hundreds of foundations in length and width to work and play around. Biomass, you've got enough wood here to easily last early game, and if you somehow run out of that, there's a bunch more biomass down there as well. A bunch more biomass, which I try not to get rid of because it looks quite nice around there, which is great. Iron, copper, there's thousands, just thousands of resources that you can collect. There's caterium, sulfur, quartz around here. It really is good. It sounds like I'm trying to sell this item, or to sell the starting location to you, but it really depends on what you want. Every location has certain benefits. I suppose one drawback to the Dune Desert, if I can try and think about something, because I have to be a little bit biased. What can be a drawback? I mean, biomass is good. Actually, I don't know. I'm sure there are drawbacks to it. For example, with the grass fields, it has the worst node clusters in any starting location. For example, almost every single node you see will be impure, potentially normal if you get lucky. Which early game is okay, but even placing down one of those ploppable miners, they can generate far more resources per minute on a pure node than an impure node, so that does actually impact early game as well. Rocky Desert, I think, solid. I really like the Rocky Desert, and I think this is where I'll be starting my next playthrough. The problem is, though, I'm planning a mega project in this particular location, which is most likely going to end up taking hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 hours to try and actually fully complete. So I don't know if I want to be revisiting this location so soon. And the Northern Forest is where I've started this particular playthrough, and I love this location because I think you have 5 pure iron nodes. One of them might be blocked by a boulder. This is a bit of a heads up. You've got a nice copper node, you've got limestone dotted all the way around, you've got coal down there, you've got coal over here, and some other resources in the Titan Forest, which is great as well. You've got oil quite close to you as well. Also, not to mention, there's a bunch of coal up there as well, so I mean, yeah. Every biome has pros and cons. I don't like this, by the way. I understand what I've attempted to do, but I'm not sure if I've executed it in the way I envisioned. Maybe I think what I'll do is, for the lower half of this particular blueprint, let's say I keep that, and everything else here just goes temporarily. I've always got a backup of this blueprint, so if it's really that bad, I can just do it again. No, positivity and faith. That's all you need in this game. And luck and maths and a spreadsheet. Other than that, that's it. Right, I now need you. No, sorry, not that. This. There we go. Boom. I think that's what I wanted. Now I'm going to need this. Wrong one. Oh, it's a 50-50. There we go. So I can do one there. And actually, rather unexpectedly, this could actually look quite nice. I say unexpectedly, I don't design things to look crap on purpose. Although, with some of my builds, you'd think I did. Okay. Now, potentially change you to be white. Okay. I can understand what my brain's trying to think of, which is nice. That doesn't often happen with me, so that's always a nice change. Now, same thing here with you. Change that to be white. You're not quite lined up properly, are you? I know exactly why that's happened, and that's not a drama. That's all good, Wicked Jamrock. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I do greatly appreciate the support, and good luck with your new playthrough tomorrow. I hope that it goes well. Running all your biomass on meat? Really? I mean, if it works, right? One of my top tips that, to be honest with you, I think I have to follow a bit more often is try to get out of that biomass stage as quickly as possible. Because something that I often end up doing is spending way too long faffing about with biomass, and then before you know it, I've used up an entire biome's worth of wood. And every 10 minutes I'm out collecting biomass, when in reality I don't want to be doing that. I want to be, you know, playing the game. Okay, I think that looks fine. Why does this remind me of that thing from Star Wars? The big chap with the legs that I think the Empire used. I haven't watched much Star Wars. Interesting. Very interesting. So first things first, we'll do that. And we'll do that. Paint you a white. Then you should already be the correct color. Yes. Good. Now, when it comes to this, what color palette am I going to use? I'll try this for now. Paint you all carbon steel. Is that in the middle? No, that's not quite lined up properly. If I do that instead. No, it's not quite lined up with you. How has that happened? So what, are you lined up or not then? Yeah, you look fine. In fact, you know what? I'm going to leave that layer I just added, and instead what I'm going to do here is this. There we go, perfect. As of right now, it makes no sense, but what I can just very easily do is this. Then this should hopefully reveal a rather unique looking pattern. Okay. I don't know if I love that just yet. We'll see. It's renewable. Oh yeah, true. Might have to try that one day. Okay, then get rid of that. So we've got 3 down there. Then get you up there as well. Either 1 gap, have 3, 1 gap. Maybe just a random pattern. Would that look better? Because right now it's 3 gap, 3 gap, 3 gap, 3 gap. Then here it's a bit random. We got a 4 one. Which I suppose is fine. I don't see much problems with that. Let me just save this very quickly. I want to override the blueprint that I just made, so that's fine. Although, whilst I'm here... Wait. Get out of that. Let's change the color to our rocket fuel color. Beautiful. And we'll change this to our standard wall color there as well. Our 4-meter high wall. Brilliant. Okay. Now let's replace this with what we just made. And hopefully, there we go, lovely. It should look fairly fine. Wow, the self-confidence already is immaculate. It should look tolerable to my eyesight. There you go. See, this is what I mean. The reason why I love to use prototypes and experiment with my blueprints is because within the space of, what, 10 minutes? We started with that, which looks fine. It's already got the depth that I quite like. And now we've got this. And that's just the progression of one particular blueprint. Okay. Now what I want to try and do is... In fact, I might actually need you again. No, actually, no, I don't, because you're slightly off. Now what's going to end up happening is I'm going to select a foundation. Yeah, let's go concrete. And I want to try and get you roughly there. I can't really fly much higher here because of our limitations, but that's fine. You're going to come across like that. You're going to come across like this. Same there with you. Same here, and then same there. So essentially this is then just going to cut straight across. You're not going to be here, I don't think. Definitely not above that, I'd say. We can probably end up just getting rid of this for now. If I want to try and change it later on, we absolutely can. But for what I'm thinking of, this shouldn't be too necessary. There's a slight height difference there. I'm not too concerned about that. Slightly annoyed, but not concerned. Which is fine, right? That's fine. I'm going to stick you out there by about 1/2 meter. Bring you to the edge. And that. Then lastly, same thing here. Up. And are you already out? No. Probably can't do it for that particular one there because that's going to overlap with everything else and I don't really want it to do that. I'm also not a very big fan of how you stick out above everything else. I understand why that's there. But the problem is because you're a half meter. Yeah, you're half a meter. Whereas you're a 1 meter gap between the white concrete and the white concrete there. So that has to be slightly adjusted in this blueprint. Which is fine. I think the way that I can do... Oh, I can't actually reduce the height of that, can I? That's alright. What if I try this? Grab that. And get rid of this. Okay. See how that's a bit more streamlined. I definitely do prefer that. The question is though, when you're actually running around on ground level, I doubt you notice this at all. No. But the thing is, I know that it's now correct, so for me that's a lot better. Yeah. I prefer it. Speaking of things I prefer, is it possible, just very temporarily, to grab you and just run you out to here? So I can get a bit more height here. Lovely. Okay. Now I did say that I wanted to try and reduce the elevation there from that. That's all good. Then this. That's now a 1 meter gap, and honestly, I don't mind that. That's completely fine. You're then just going to be crammed full with lights. I think orange is fine. Actually, I quite like the orange. I did try to experiment with a white light in our last Satisfactory stream, and I don't necessarily think it worked out brilliantly, in all honesty. It overlaps. The problem is, if you don't overlap it, this is what's going to end up happening. See how you have that black line right there when the two signs are placed next to each other? You don't have that here. When you overlap it slightly, you can see where the lines should be, but they're not. And the further away you get, the more obvious it looks, and I just don't like that. That concept I do like, though. The problem is, how am I going to integrate this with this particular blueprint? What I could try and do is, even though I know I've just jutted it out, jut it back in. Let's see, if I was just to place this down here, for science, obviously. Paint you the correct colour, which is not that. Okay, there will be slight problems. What a surprise. A build that I do that has a problem? Wow. What's going to be the simplest solution to this predicament that we find ourselves in? The two options I've got is either continue this line through this... What do I even call it? Wall? Yeah. Continue the line through the wall, or end the lights there and start it again over there. To have this wall then stick out through the line itself. So get rid of all this, for example. You'll then have to go slightly back, which is fine, I think. I mean, that could work. Maybe just to break away the constant repetitive light theme. Okay. I don't mind that. I like this design. It works. It functions the way I would actually really hope it would have functioned. How tall are you? 9. That's fine. Because you don't have to be that tall. You are, oh, about 5 meters too tall. I don't know how the maths is mathed there, but it's mathed, that's for sure. Hmm. That seems like half a meter to me. It is. So that's 5.5 meters too tall, I believe. Yes. Okay, so the very top layer can just go. That's nice and simple. Then the layer underneath that, I suppose, has to come down by 1.5 meters. Not a massive problem. It might interact weirdly with potentially the walls behind here, which I did do. I just didn't finish. No, I did finish it. Yeah, that's intentional. Okay. You can tell a project's really good when I don't know the difference between if I finished it or if it's just a construction site. Great. Okay. I do like the idea of this wall actually persisting and overlapping this particular light. So let's go with that then. Okay. And then how tall are you going to be before it interacts with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And is that 1.5? If I get rid of that just temporarily, then plop you down there. If you are new to the channel, by the way, you are going to hear me say the word temporarily a good dozen times per stream. And it often means something that I'm not going to remove for the next 1,000 hours. Welcome, Vinod. Hope that you're doing good. So that's exactly 1 meter. Okay. 6. That is definitely 6. Yep. Okay. So then, let's remove this. Then remove it on that side there as well. And one more. And I think I just want this to come up, don't I? I do like this design. I can tolerate its look. My eyes aren't offended by what I've just built so far. How am I? I'm okay. I think. Wow, the confidence in that answer was incredible. Yeah, I think I'm doing good today. Hope that you're doing good as well. I just woke up today and thought, you know what, I need to play some more Satisfactory. It's been 24 hours since I last logged on, that's more than enough. As much as I did enjoy yesterday's Arc stream, it definitely was a one-off kind of thing. There we go. So. Oh, you're not quite right, actually, are you? Come here. Where's the audio gone? I can hear the audio, just... the music stopped. Oh well. Brilliant. And hop back around over here, then finish that. That is correct, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think we said 9 was too high, or too tall, wasn't it? You have to firstly get rid of that, then get rid of this, then bring it down by 1.5 meters. Let's just make sure here. That's 1 meter, that's 0.5 meter. I'm now going to save this as 007. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And get rid of that. Lovely. Yep. I don't know why these are constantly not lined up with one another though. That seems too low now. That's the height it should be. Oh no, it's correct. I think. Yeah, it is definitely correct. Okay. Let's go. I can do basic maths. Wow. Now the back of here, I'm not going to focus on as of... Oh. I didn't even think about it until I just started that sentence. What am I going to do here? Because this has potential to actually look quite nice. Something simple I could do is that. And I believe when it comes to this, is it possible to... No, I can't do that. I can do this. We'll see. I'll have to look into it, I think. There we go. Oh dear. But yeah, update 1.2 tomorrow. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. What can I say? I mean, it's going to be fun, hopefully. What more do you want? I think you stick out then by that much, don't you? Yes. I preferably did want to try and zoop that. And I believe this is the right material. Did I carbon steel it? I guess we'll never know. No, I think that's just grey. It is just grey. Okay. Grapes. And you go up to there. So then leave a one gap and come down by one. Okay. Simples. And it's night time, which means I probably can't see what I'm doing now for the next couple minutes. Rid of this. And make sure that all of you lot are painted grey. Brilliant. That can go then as well. And I think I've just got to make sure that this is lined up with that, right? Or do I potentially want it to be a bit higher? I think I do because it adds a bit more shape. Because as of right now, everything is going to look rather flat. I don't necessarily want it to do that. So I think making this slightly higher, even just by a couple foundations, will be quite a big difference there. Is it just 1.2 for experimental branch, or is it the main getting it 2? Unfortunately for now, it's just the experimental branch. But if there is any news about console 1.2 or main branch 1.2, I will cover that in an upcoming video. But as of right now, no news about it. Just experimental, unfortunately. It will be coming out to the main branch at some point. That's all I know of so far. There we go. And make sure that this looks acceptable from a visual standpoint. Bring you up to around about there. Same thing here. So, essentially everything above here is now going to be the roof. Which is rather interesting. Because I haven't really planned past this stage. I suppose we need a door. Can I fit a lift into here? I've completely forgot lifts were a thing. Wow. Have I even got them unlocked? I do, okay. I can't nudge lifts, can I? Roaching another object's clearance. Oh yeah, they're quite strict about where you can place them as well, right? Oh, you can nudge lifts. Either way, I can't put it in there. Why did I think you couldn't nudge lifts? Maybe because you couldn't nudge them when they first came out. I swear I remember making a video saying the one bad thing about lifts that you couldn't nudge them. Oh well. I might just be on the delusional juice. No, I don't know. Now, lastly, for the top of this thing. Because I don't know if I want it to go any higher. I think it's fine the way it is. Is there anything I can put here? Big pillar? That would have been nice, but I can't because it overlaps that thing, which is, you know, it is what it is. No. Have I placed you in the wrong location? I think I have. You're supposed to go here, aren't you? Okay. So you go there. How are you out of... Doesn't matter. Then 1.5. Okay. 1.5. Now I think this is where you're supposed to go. In that case, then... What else is supposed to go here? I think that'll maybe be fine. What have I done? I've just messed... Well... No, you're right. Let's just see about that. I'm unsure. Okay, I'm unsure. I do want to try and plop this in now. Just to try and see where we stand. We can get rid of that. I know I haven't added too much since the last time, but it's always good just to take a small break and assess the situation. Okay, so I've placed that in the wrong spot, but I've actually placed this in the right spot. Okay, it's just this that has to then go. Interesting. Okay. That's not a problem. I don't think that's a problem. Okay. Height-wise, is it fine? Yeah, it's completely fine. That's good. So, some mistakes were made, but that's alright. I don't know how I made that mistake, but you know what? I don't want to dwell on it. You can go there. Oh. Sure, you can be annoying. One and a half. Which means that you're somehow now going to stick out of that. Which is fine because you're then going to not attach to that. You are going to attach to that. And some people say I'm indecisive. Lies. Straight tomfoolery. Never has one been so less indecisive. Or decisive. That's better. I like the way it cuts through there. Again, the eyes are fine. Welcome back, early pause. Gonna try Warzone tonight. Oh, that reminds me, I'm actually installing Warzone right now. I should probably have paused it before I started streaming. Is the stream quality okay? If the quality on the stream looks really bad, let me know now so I can pause the download on Warzone. But absolutely early. Just drop a text and I will be on. I will answer your call. You're just not lined up, are you? That's better. You know what? I don't think I hate that. I don't think I hate it. Is this the most important thing I could be doing the day before a major update comes out? Yes. Could I potentially be adding an infrastructure for my my fluid trucks? No. I mean, to be fair, I've already done that. Kind of. Not really. I don't need it right now, though. That's the problem. There's no point adding an infrastructure that I just don't need. Because then I'm just wasting my time. How's that? No, sorry, you're gonna get half nudged, and then you're a whatever. What even is that? Is that I know it's a 4-meter wall, but I'm just wondering how tall that actually is. So if it's just 1 meter, there's no point adding in a 4-meter wall, is there? And it is just 1 meter. Okay. We'll save some resources. We'll save the planet. Yeah, we'll save the planet. Save the resources. Get rid of that. In fact, you can all go, to be honest. In by that, up by that. Yes, lovely. Then now you again go back by some? Is that now correct? I didn't realize how complex this actually was. Which idiot thought of this? I'll give you guys a clue. I'll give you a small hint. It was me. But I think it's going to end up looking rather nice, to be honest. And now I don't go up by that extra one, do I? No. Okay, so you're correct color-wise. White, white, chrome, 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 white. Whatever that is. White, white, chrome, chrome, chrome. Oh, hello. Hello there. White. Okay. Fine. Anything else? Yes, you. Oh, I see. I know what I've done now. I understand it. So in that case, you actually have to try and go. And there is no way I can properly select this, is there? No. 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 Okay. Perfect. That's what I was trying to do and miserably failed. So in theory, I can chuck you in there. You then come down by an extra 2 meters. Which in reality, you only have to come down by... Oh. That much, I would say. Let's see. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Then just have a nice little path along there. No one saw that. How many times am I seriously going to fly into that bloody glass until I realise I can't fly through glass? Why is that so difficult for me to understand? Don't fly through glass. I haven't got the facilities for that. There we go. Okay, that sorted out that problem. Good. I think that's what I want. The only problem now is I should have a concrete foundation underneath her. I don't know exactly where it has to try and go though. I suppose there's a start. Then up by 1. Up she goes. Up she goes. It's a song. I promise. There we go. And notice how this is slightly hanging over the edge. Again, when you're a pedestrian down here, odds of you seeing that, very slim. But we can see it. We can acknowledge it. And that's what I like. Let's get some lights up in this thing. And indent you slightly into there. I really hope this is all going to line up. I haven't even tested it. If it doesn't line up, then we're in a bad place. Because I then have to redo all of this, so fingers crossed, eh? Also, last stream I said that I was going to try and figure out how many blueprints I'm going to need. And I have. So it's obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the corner ones, 5, 6. And that should be it. And I suppose when it comes to this particular crossing here, 1 blueprint down there, 7, 1 above, 8. And that will get us all the way around the outside. Maybe a couple tower blueprints as well. Just to connect the foundations with the ceiling. Let's say 9 or potentially 10 different blueprints there. Then when it comes to all the different towers around the space elevator, that's like another 6 blueprints maybe. So in total, we're only looking at about 16 blueprints for the exterior of this factory. Not including the at least a dozen or so blueprints for this. The couple dozen blueprints from inside of there. In total, this entire rocket fuel part of the factory is between maybe 50 and 60 blueprints. Like different unique blueprints. Including the logistical ones as well. For example, like the refineries. Which isn't, well, it's not great, but it's not the worst thing I've ever done. Maybe top 10, but oh well. And bear in mind, this is not going to be the biggest project I do in this save. And now I also want to try and incorporate trains into it as well, so I apparently have chosen pain. Apparently, I don't know why. But hey, if it looks good... Oh, did I not save it? Oh, 9. There we go. Where am I trying to move this to? There we go, thank you. I do realise there is still a big gap here, by the way. We'll figure something else. I'm not concerned by that. You line up? Okay, this is actually good. I think. I don't mind that sticking out of there like that. I honestly really don't, I think. Again, really indecisive, but I think it's fine. Wait, why have I got to... Oh. Holy Fixmas, did I have that many blueprints for Fixmas? I still can't believe I spent a week out of my 2.5 or 3 week vacation working on my Fixmas factory. What a melon I am. Okay, so you can do that. And 1 more on top. How would that look? I don't like that. I don't think. I'm not sure. We'll come back to that, I think. Overall, though, this is the concept I wanted. Why is there a gap here? Why are you a different colour? You should all be carbon. Oh, you're not carbon. Okay. That's fine. This is okay, though. This is fine. Now what I want to try and do is, I suppose, get the corner blueprint done. I know what I've got in mind. Essentially, it's going to be this. Or without that. It'll make more sense when I've built it. So, without further ado, I didn't check the other side. I did not check the interior. This looks quite rough. The best thing I can probably try and do here is get rid of that glass there. Second glass from the top. Same with this. Honestly, probably that too. Then replace it with this. And that. Now with this one gap underneath there, what I'm probably just going to end up doing is this. And I think this is where the roof's going to end up being anyway, so... Right? Yes. I didn't go as far back as what I probably needed to go. Like so. Okay. Yeah. If I was down here, what would it look like? Can I press the right buttons? There we go. Wow, shocker. Not bad. It's quite a tall build, yes, but overall it's fine. And when it comes to the glass here, what I could do, but I don't think this is actually going to work, if I'm honest, is this. The problem now is, that would look fine if it was just by itself, but because that glass, this glass, and that glass are all bigger and different sizes, it just doesn't look great. Is there potentially other forms of glass I could try and use here? Yeah, but again, I don't think any of them are actually going to look great. No. Can I potentially add this here? I don't really want to. No, it's going to take away from the whole design. No. What are you going to be? I really don't know. Oh, how about this? As a potential solution. I mean, it could look fine. I don't think it's going to win any awards for being beautiful, but oh well. About 26 meters up there, that's fine. I don't mind it. I think it needs a few more of them dotted around just for it to look not completely weird. But for now, you know what? It's honestly fine. From this side, how does it look? Not bad. I mean, I've made worse, so it's good enough for me. Now, what are you actually called? I've got no idea what this particular blueprint is. 1? No. 2. Yes, there we go. Straight 002. So let's load that into here. Right. And now what I'm going to want to try and do is essentially get rid of everything except for this. This particular half quarter is going to stay. Maybe you as well. Everything up to, I say the middle as well. We'll include the middle part. And very quickly, let me just change the name of this to 008. Because the last thing I want to try and do is override that last blueprint and then have to redesign that all over again. Because that just won't be fun. In fact, I won't have to do that. I'll just restart my game. But I don't want to get into that situation where I might have to do that. Oh, don't do that. I will very quickly pop round to this side, just so I don't accidentally get rid of anything back there, and then not realise for the next couple episodes, and when I do realise, I'll then wonder how the heck it happened. I've done that before. In fact, back in the day, I used to actually have a build go around my blueprint designer. I used to have walls around it, a roof. It looked very nice. But the problem was, whenever I was getting rid of things like this, I would then get rid of the walls, and it was just annoying. Do I want to keep you there? Potentially, yes. I don't know how this is going to work, by the way. I mean, please don't assume I know what I'm doing, because I'm afraid you will be thoroughly disappointed. I want you to go up to there, then down that way. So I suppose you have to actually stay. And have a wall back here now as well. I think... yeah. Wow, the sound of confidence fills the air. That has to go, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do there. We'll find out in a minute. This... no. I really hope I can get rid of this without it massively impacting my current playthrough. Welcome, Mr. Strange. Hope that you're doing good. Because of you, I feel like I gotta redo pretty much all your oil power generations and start using heavy oil residue recipes now when I have unlocked it. Gonna take a while, so thanks. You're welcome. I mean, what can I say? I'm making everyone's playthrough so much more... annoying. But no, play the game that you want to play it as. Just because I do something doesn't mean that that's the correct way to do it. In fact, a lot of the time, it's not. For example, look at the way that Josh from Let's Game It Out plays the game. And that's one of the beauties of Satisfactory and why I think it's doing so well. Is because there's so many different ways to play this game. You could either do this, or you could do Josh's tactic, or you could just go in blind and see how it goes. It's completely up to you. So, I found this works for me, but it might not work for everyone. Which phase am I in? I am currently in phase 3. I've got an entire world currently running off coal power. Pretty much. So that's why I'm trying to get this established as quickly as possible, which is my rocket fuel factory. We've still got a long way to go, but I'm taking my time. We're having fun, I think. Alleged fun is happening. So where are you then? You're just after that? Yes, okay, so you're a little bit further in than I thought. That's why we check these things, because you're half a nudge in. Why half a nudge? Fantastic question. There we go. Where was that? Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Then re-establish this. Great. It just relax. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't play this game seriously. I play it a lot, but I only play it to relax. I think. That's what I tell myself. Okay, so you then go up like so. Down like that. You're apparently what I need. Which is interesting to me. So I'm then going to need that there as well. You can then go. This... I'm actually unsure of, because I want to try and create some sort of entrance here now as well. Ow. No, you're further in, aren't you? Wait, are you? Yes. Okay, so you should have actually been placed down here. Right. Obviously. Again, obviously. Let's go 1, 2, 1, 2. Beautiful. How high is this going to be? Relatively high. I actually quite like this design. It's interesting. Well done me. Wow. It's not very often I compliment one of my own designs, but I can understand where I'm coming from with this. Sometimes I will go back to a build and I think, what have you just made? And look at all the white lines. Holy moly. Ah. You start there? You start just after the halfway point. So yeah, there, I suppose. Heights-wise, is that now correct? Yes. Okay. 1.2 will get into the main build. Yeah, hopefully so. Fingers crossed. Welcome, Red the Epicness. Hope that you're doing good. You just got to phase 4 recently. Got any tips? Take it slow. Some of the recipes are going to appear to be nightmarish. But the best thing I can recommend is tackle it one bit at a time. In fact, can I very quickly get something on the screen? Give me a second. I've got an app where I try and write down all of my recipes that I use for this game. I can try and show you what I mean by the recipes get bigger. Because they do, and it's a bit annoying. There we go. I've already got the tab open. Brilliant. So some of the main recipes you are going to start to make around phase 4. I think ballistic warp drives? Do you make that stage 4? Okay, it's not even here. Brilliant. Let's go to unexpected item in the bagging area. Why have I called it that? I don't know. There we go. See, this right here is the ballistic warp drive recipe, and this is the nuclear pasta. You might have only just made nuclear pasta and thought, oh, that was a bit complicated. Well, look at the two recipes side by side. That's the pasta, that's the ballistic warp drive. This thing is an absolute nightmare to make. And if you were to tackle this thing head on, you're going to most likely get burnt out before you finish it. Because you need things like thermal propulsion rockets, which in itself takes fused modular frames and cooling systems and modular engines. You're also going to need singularity cells, which in itself, again, requires more nuclear pasta and pressure conversion cubes. You're then going to need a bunch of 1.0 stuff, superposition oscillators, and dark matter crystals. If you look at that, the first thing I thought at least was, I'm not doing that. However, break it down. And then it becomes so much easier. So starting with the fused modular frames. The heavy modular frame recipe itself requires pretty much just iron and limestone. You can make that in an iron factory and have a little bit of concrete coming in. Aluminium, make that in your aluminium factory. More aluminium. Electronics factory again to make some of this stuff, which is not too bad at all. So far we've got 3 factories. Iron, electronics, and aluminium. Then a couple of copper items there as well. Iron... And again, concrete, iron, plastic, that's fine. Aluminium, iron. We've already talked about the heavy modular frames, so just repeat that recipe, just basically using iron. And before you know it, you've now broken everything down into a couple different stages. Make all of your iron items, well, this is what I do. You don't have to do what I do, this is just what I think works for me. I make all of my iron items in one part of my world, and then I either drone it out or truck it out, train it out, belt it out to whatever part of the world it then has to try and go to. I then do the same with my aluminium, electronics, and then my crude oil thing. So rubber, plastic, polymer resin, the cold thing I can never remember, compact cold, there we go, and a couple other items. So if you break it down, I think it becomes a lot more fun as well. Because rather than trying to do that, which I'm telling you now is not going to be... well, some people might enjoy it, but I wouldn't personally enjoy it. I then focus on an iron factory where I've got to make 2,000 iron plates per minute or something like that, and it's really good fun. Also, don't use screws. I try to not use any screws if I can. I think is this it? No, I think that's raw resources. I don't know exactly how many screws I'm using in my playthrough, but it's very little. Like, extremely little, because I just don't want to make 25,000 screws per minute. Everyone has their preferences, I suppose. I hope that helps a little bit. Welcome, Deep Spawners. Hope that you're doing good. Yes, only hitting the experimental branch. Yes. Yep. But I'm still playing it, though, so... Right, you overlap quite weirdly. I know why I've done that there, because you're in the gap. I wonder, is there a way that I can somehow make this look fine? Ooh. What have I done here? Actually, what have I done here? Oh. Again, that's not completely idiotic either. I don't think. Because if I do that, it should hopefully give it a nice flat surface. Because I've merged them all together a little bit. Yes, okay. Right. That's not too... Oh no. What have you done? In fact, isn't this going to go anywhere? I'm pretty sure that is actually just going to go. So for now I can get rid of it, get rid of that there as well. And temporarily get rid of this. That can stay, I think. Oh, from the inside of this. Oh, wow. Luckily, no one has to see that, so let's just pretend we didn't see it. Why is there a small gap there? I mean, there shouldn't be, so let's get rid of it. Welcome, Andrew. Hope that you're doing good, man. Thanks for all your content for Satisfactory. No problem. Your dedication to going through every alternate recipe was impressive. Keep the content coming. Look forward to tomorrow. Thank you very much. I mean, I do it because I find it really interesting. I don't know why I find it interesting. I really do. Yeah, I do appreciate the nice words, though. I think tomorrow is going to be a fun stream, fun day. I'm just hoping my game doesn't crash. Because as of right now, I'm unsure. Okay. I could go with something like this. So from this angle, we haven't got any lights on this particular wall. Then from this angle, we do. I don't hate it. It's peculiar. It looks a bit like a metal detector in some regards. But overall, I wouldn't say I hate it. Maybe one thing I can try and do is just add lights up here. No, you know what? Actually, I quite like the way this looks. It's unique. I do want to try and do something though regarding this, because the problem is, if I want to try and have a platform up here with a pattern, I think it is just going to overlap, and I don't know if I like that. One solution is this. There we go. Welcome, Crook. I hope that you're doing good, man. You've made it all the way to phase 5 with just 600 megawatts core power plants, and the Geyser is tapped. Wow. I won't even try and cover it up. I can't do that. I don't know if I could ever try and do that. Someone actually asked in a stream, this is many months ago now, if I was ever going to speedrun this game. I don't think I could. I don't know why, but mentally I just don't think I could try and speedrun this game. Which is unfortunate. That's correct, isn't it? Yes. So now what I want to try and do is get the other blueprints I just had open and get rid of absolutely everything except for this, but it's on that side instead. So let's try that. That's the wrong one. Yep, nice. Good start. Fantastic start. 002, there we go. So everything here has to go except for this particular set of walls. And so far, I think this project's looking fine. I can still see the cobra head. This definitely, I mean, to me, it looks like a cobra. Got the eyes there. I think it's just like the weird V shape with the lights. The one thing I've been trying to work on, though, is these layers. Just trying to layer everything together. And I think it does make a difference, especially when you are a bit closer. Again, we are looking at this from a bit of a distance here, but when you are up close and personal with the project, you can see it. And my main inspiration behind this was the cauldrons from Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. I just think it looks alright. You have everything unlocked now, but you don't have hardly any infrastructure built at all. Yeah. I find that impressive. I really do. I wish I could do it. I wish. But I just can't. Wow. We've already reached 50 items. Damn. Actually, I wonder how many items are in this one blueprint. I didn't think there was that many. But there's probably, well, a good couple hundred, I'd say. And this was supposed to be one of my smaller blueprints. If you don't know, my conveyor belt highway, which is, spoiler alert, the highway with all the conveyor belts on it, right there, each one of these blueprints is over 2,000 concrete. And I have got 150 of them, 200, 300 of them, placed all across my world. So, yep. In fact, if you watch the video of my 500-hour world tour, you can see a really cool map of exactly where my conveyor belt highways are. And it goes into a bit more depth about it. I just forgot how to speak there for a second. It goes into a bit more detail. And it's rather interesting. And that was available via the Satisfactory calculator. I had no idea it could do that. No, it goes into tons of detail. Okay, right. I think I literally want everything here gone except for this. So that includes that. And all of this. Maybe I'll keep that. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, that's a slight problem. I don't want that to go. There we go. Or that, or that. So this blueprint's going to end up looking quite weird, but honestly, I think it should still be fine. It's going to function, and hopefully it's going to work. Welcome, Factories M7B. Hope that you're doing well. 1.2 in 2 days, not tomorrow. It's tomorrow, it's the 17th. In 24 hours from now, you'll be watching 1.2 gameplay on the channel. Experimental gameplay, but still update 1.2. Okay. That's still fine. All of this has to go. It does feel weird destroying the blueprints, but I would have saved so much more time doing this than if I was to try and replicate this. Because I've done it already, and it's a bit of a pain to try and do, because in our last Satisfactory live stream, I think we were live for a good 2.5 hours. We had about a 45-minute intro, just talking about what I've missed in the last month since my last stream, and then we just got straight into the build, and I think it took us about an hour to try and just build this in an hour. But I don't want to have to do that again. Okay, saying that though, we are chipping down at the blueprint itself. I think we're pretty much there. I'm unsure what the point of these were. Actually, yeah, I know what it's for. That can all just go, I think. Yep. Brilliant. One quick flyover. Do I need that there? I don't think so. We'll save a little bit of concrete. I don't even know why that's there in the first place, in fact. We're now going to be 009. Okay. My next course of action is now to clear the blueprint entirely. Select the 0081, which was you. Is that correct? It is correct, yes. And plop you down right about there. Then select the 009, which is there. There's a couple of tweaks here and there that I am going to have to make, but nothing crazy, I don't think. There. Yeah. Gonna slightly overlap. You shouldn't be doing that though. Is that what I want? No. So this particular wall itself just about tucks behind there. So it should look like that. There shouldn't be that big a gap. Okay. Let's try to establish what I've done wrong. Episode 4000 of How Have I Messed This Up? Tune back in 2 minutes to see our next episode of How Have I Screwed That One Up? So that's correct. You should be positioned there. Why are you... I'm trying to create a corner, by the way. So I want it to look something like this. Okay. Let's again just try to establish what I've done. I feel like you're a bit too far right. If I get rid of that, does that help? No, not really. Okay. We'll use that. You're slightly overlapping there. You're now fine. You're now fine. You're now fine there as well. So in theory, this is where the blueprint should actually start. And whilst I'm here, let me just add you to my hotbar, but down on the right side there. Now you're running 180 fuel generators at 240% clock speed with rocket fuel made from one pure node of oil. Yeah, the good thing about rocket fuel is that you can make a lot of it using just a little bit of oil, which I actually quite like. I love rocket fuel. Oh. This looks right. No. I'm trying to think, why doesn't this line up properly? Because you most certainly should not be sticking out of there. You go through here. Oh. There. That is, I think, where you should then be going through. We then have all of this, which I assume just has to go. Let me just plop it in. As you go down like that, you are 1, 2, and about 2/5, I would say. Yeah. You are now, oh dear. 1, 2, and depending on where the wall's going to be, you're about, I'll say 2/5, yeah. Let's try and plop you down. Maybe this will help our situation. Plot twist, it probably won't. There. I think let's just get rid of that. And then this, because that's just not correct at all, is it? The interior there is still fine. For my standards. You, I suppose, you can come down here. I thought this would be such an easy thing for us to try and do, but clearly not. Also, why are you slightly off? That's weird. Actually, no, it's not. No, that's fine. I'm talking baloney. Although you are slightly off, though. Wait, you don't line up with that? Well, like you should. Do you line up with that? Yeah, you do. Unless this particular wall here is also off. Because in theory, if these pillars were to line up, you should be there. Right? No, slightly over. There we go, there. In between the glass and the wall. Yep, directly in the middle. Okay. We're making baby steps. You'll be making mini modular factories depending on the ore. What's the best approach to get them to converge? I like to connect everything via a road or rail. And then you can use drones if you want. So that's why I'm trying to get my fuel sorted out instantly. Because after I get fuel sorted, I'm going to have quite a lot of extra turbo fuel. which I'm then going to use temporarily for drones. I'm then going to use the remainder of some items that I'm making here. I think it's plastic, 2,000 plastic. So then make 1,000 batteries per minute. Do I need 1,000 batteries per minute? No. But if I do make 1,000 batteries per minute, that will then supply all the drones I'm going to need for this playthrough, and then some. So I like to try and sort out transportation first, rather than, let's say, building a huge iron factory over there, but then you need some resources to go over here. Well, that's quite a long journey via road or train. But a drone, well, that's not too bad. But then you haven't got anything to power your drones with, and then you've just realized, okay, I now can't power my factory because I haven't got enough power. So then you have to make another factory for your electricity, and then to power the drones, or to produce the resources to power the drones. So I try and make sure that I've got fuel sorted first, and then I can focus on modular factories around the world to then try and use drones to drag resources from one place to another. That's basically it. As long as you have power sorted, this game can be far easier. The problem is trying to get power sorted, as you can see, and the fact I've been doing this since June of last year. Or is it August? I've lost track of dates. July doesn't exist in my mind. So you should be correct. I'm struggling to see how you are not correct, if I'm being completely frank. Yeah, the middle should be there. That looks fine. Yeah, wait. What's the problem then? Oh yeah, the problem is you still stick out by an extra thing, don't you? What if you didn't do that? Is there a way that I can just half nudge you over there? Okay, now you're lined up. Okay. That's it. Because you are barely sticking out there, but you've got a good amount of room into here. So I think what I'm actually going to try and do, now that I think I've figured out a solution for this particular part of the trouble, is to do this. Get rid of this completely. Because it's both right and wrong. That's better from that angle. And from this angle, it's pretty good here as well. Good. Now what I can then do is hide this particular part of the wall like that. Okay, so everything on this particular wall should now be replicating this side of the wall. I think it is. Great. How about this? I mean, yeah, this is fine. You're a lot further to the left than I thought you'd be. Okay. Should we try this again? Again, it's further to the left than I thought. Also, you're a lot higher than I... Oh, yeah. Highly elevated than I thought you'd be. Let's move you back here a little bit. We'll do that. Because as we can see, you are overlapping this by quite a lot. That then makes me think, should you be somewhere here? Which would make sense. I don't mind that being there for now, as long as this side then looks appropriate. There. This now lines up where it should be. This isn't lining up at all. We'll come back to that. And how wide are you? Because you start about here. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. Okay. 9 and a half. You now start at the halfway point. Okay, that's a bit annoying actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. That's correct. It's not correct. I mean, I can plop it in, see how it goes. But apparently that's correct. Okay. Right, I know why, because you're slightly sticking out. Okay. The problem is, this isn't an exact 90-degree angle. Some bits jut out a bit further than others, which then creates quite a weird sort of look. But a look that isn't necessarily bad, just has to be adapted in a slightly different way that I normally do my projects. So you now have to be here, I think. Therefore, this particular wall is going to have to go, and we'll try and find a workaround and a solution to that. Same with you. Oh, nice. And then same with you. You then have to go. Don't worry too much about that. I can already think of a solution to that. You're then going to come straight down to here. The problem is you now stick out there. Obviously, we can't have that. This has to go. This has to go. That has to definitely go. I want to try and keep one of these walls, just temporarily. So I can grab this. And move it there. Yes. That will now completely get rid of all that overlapping. And this should now look the same as this side. It does, except you have an overlap and you don't. So let's just try and change that. It will not affect the project whatsoever, other than just looks. Okay. Next, we've got the lights going in at that angle. The light here is going in at that angle. So it's roughly in the middle of that pillar. Yes, this is correct. It doesn't look it, but it is correct. Let's try and build off of this. Literally. Then we've got to lower you down a little bit, I think. To there? No, that doesn't seem right. A bit more, I'd say. There we go. I'm liking the way things are looking here in the middle. I don't think you overlap with anything, so you should be fine, I think, to go there. Yep. That looks good to me. You are going to have to go, though. Surely I can't build this here, right? There's no way. Yeah, of course not. That's fine. So you're going to come down there. I don't know where you're going to go. In fact, that reminds me. Don't you have to go there as well, then? I might have to actually redesign this area. Even though I was just saying it was the one area I could kind of tolerate. Typical, right? Typical. Because you're going to have to come into here. This will then be open. That will then be open. Where's the ceiling? I want to try and continue this height because I actually quite like that. It's the perfect height, I would say, for what I need. Can I go one more? The problem is, this is going to start to peek out the top of this roof now. I can't really go much further than that. Let's then grab our wall. And try and line you up best we can here. I think that's pretty decent. Okay, maybe not, but it doesn't peek out the top. That's good enough. Nudge you over there by one. Same thing there. How's it looking? Perfect, I think. You can see the wall there, so... because I'm one of those people. But then half nudge it again. Because if I'm going to do something and correct a mistake, I might as well just correct it properly. There's now a small gap there. Honestly, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the most important thing is we are still taking steps forward. And there's no longer a gap there. Nothing a bit of lights won't cover. I love it. How are you? You can go, I think. Because you're the middle. It's a bit claustrophobic in here. But that's okay. Let's hope our pioneer isn't claustrophobic. To be fair, if they were, they would not like my builds. But I think we're okay. There. Same thing now with you. And I think the way that I'm honestly going to do this is to get rid of that, and then continue you out. Don't need to use the zoop for this. It's not necessary. I don't think. Maybe it is. Oh. See, why do you do that and then the other one doesn't? That's what I don't understand. Why are you being unique? Because you come in there, it's 1, 2, 3. I think I need to somehow move you, but I can't move you. But now you're not on the edge, so you have to be moved. I'm so confused. This build has honestly screwed my mind. I'm just trying to make a corner. If I'm just a step back here for a minute, does it look good? I mean, that's a question I should have probably asked half an hour ago. As of right now, it's fine. It does what I was kind of expecting it to do. Kind of. There. In theory, I could peak the height at around about here. But no, I don't mind this. What I'm trying to do is replicate that on the other side. It's just not working. Why? As of right now, you perfectly line up in between that wall and this. When I come round over this side, you don't. But then I can't nudge you any further forwards because then otherwise you're going to be in the way of that, I think. Unless that's fine. Because where does this white layer actually overlap? With this particular wall, it doesn't overlap. With this wall here, it does, but then there's the second pillar in the way. Which is supposed to be here. That's clearly a bit too further forward. But then I can't move you back because I've already got the entrance here. I don't think I can actually complete this. I'm trying to think of a way that I can, but I don't know if I can. I know what I'm trying to do. But mathematically, because none of it's centralized, it makes it near impossible for me to try and do, I think. But I have to complete this corner before I do anything else, because I've got to try and figure out the center location, and then see how the blueprints are going to potentially weirdly merge into each other. But I need to get this done today, otherwise I can't continue with the exterior. In theory I could, I'm making it dramatic. But but no, I need to try and get this done. You can just clearly see it's not right. Because look at these two pillars here. See how they... Oh, actually, they don't even line up with that. They're slightly inwards. This has to come back by a bit, but it can't do. You're in the middle. They're lined up. I mean, it looks like it is fine, but it's not. You guys have definitely got to move back. Maybe I will honestly then just end up getting rid of that particular wall. The problem is, yeah, you're... I think we might need a redesign here. If I'm honest. I will save this as... that. Because as of right now, I'm literally taking 2 steps forward and about 45 steps back. Let's go there. Then come here. No. Yes. So that's how one of our corners could end up looking. Then get the wall itself. Then drag that down to there. Then make sure that we haven't got a 4-meter wall going up here, because that's going to create some very weird Z snapping at the very top, and I don't really want that, obviously. Maybe even move that in by 1. Lovely. Welcome back, Vidod. Hope it was a good walk. Okay. So we're back at square 1 after however long that was. About an hour left. Maybe about half an hour, because I don't really stream for as long as I used to. I'm still mentally having to get back into it, but yes. Still got a while. Now, I always have this issue when it's night. I can't really see what I'm doing very well. But that's just me in video games during the night. Now what I can do is bring you up to there. Now the good news is, because I've done this about 4,000 times, I know roughly what I have to try and do. Can I bring it back by a foundation? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on the day. Yeah, that's fine. How's that? Is it the right color? No! That would have been hilarious, to be fair. Okay, now it has to be white. Just regular concrete. Boom. Then we go up. Down by 1 or 2. 1 more. Suppose you could all go. Right? Yeah. That's fine. Then paint you white, and then paint you white. That shouldn't have been so difficult, should it? Although I did realise I've actually kind of done this wrong because I have to come out a little bit more, I think. Because now I have to try and add in the lights, and obviously I can't add in the lights when there's all this in here. Let's see. Try and grab you there. So how am I going to try and do this? Maybe I'll try and design something unique. Rather than me saying it was a mistake, say it's something unique. Yeah, that sounds more professional, doesn't it? Is it lies? Oh, it's straight up lies. Absolutely, but oh well. And 1, 2. So you're roughly in line there with this particular pattern. Yes, I like that. So you are now perfectly lined up. Congratulations. You're the first thing I've built to that's actually being lined up, I think. And they say miracles don't happen. Really? There? Okay, if that's right, then sure. No, you can't be right. No, you are. Okay. Wow. I would now like to get rid of this because this will make quite a nice entrance. Regarding you... Nope. No. Okay. Great. Ooh. That might dead snap quite a bit. Yes, that's okay. That's not a problem. It's annoying, yes, but not a problem. Because what I could just do is this. I can. There we go. And get rid of that. And potentially get rid of these here as well. Let's see. Oh dear. Yeah, how about we don't do that? Instead, we go 2. On that side, then same thing. No. Whoa, okay. Same thing, but nudge it again, in by 2. Like so. Okay. Nope. Then go up to here. To me to you. And same thing now with... What are you doing? Thank you. Oh, and of course, the second I try to lock it into place, the game autosaved, which cancelled me locking it into place. Typical. Right, well, I've done something there. I don't know if I like it very much. That's what I've got for now. Like the blueprint so far. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. So has quite a ways to go, yes. Before it is acceptable. Before it's pick and approved. If it's not pick and approved, it has to go. As of right now, it's okay. I don't know what I'm trying to design. In-depth walls, yeah. I'm gonna try and add some lights in there eventually. I don't know how, or why, or when, but it's... It's on my personal radar, which means I've thought about it. I just haven't been bothered to take action on it just yet. I don't know what I'm trying to do here in the middle as of right now. Like, whatever it is, it hasn't worked. If I was to have just done this, hello, would this have looked a bit nicer? Yes, but it's a bit too thick now. So that will then have to go. The height of that will then have to be readjusted, I think. No, it was fine. So what all do you think we're getting tomorrow? So, new game modes, console changes, which is actually quite funny because update 1.2 isn't coming out on console for a good couple months at least, maybe 3 months. Fluid trucks, RAM changes, maybe a couple new architectural pieces, something to do with roads potentially. That's what we know of so far. I don't think there's anything else. Don't like this. Why do I have to make everything so overcomplicated? Okay, you're correct. Let me just go back to the basics. Okay, this is where we were before. That can go. Do you think Xbox will get it on the same day? It will get it on the same day as PlayStation, but you won't be able to play experimental on console, which means that Xbox and PlayStation players have to wait until June, maybe? No. End of May, maybe start of June to play update 1.2. Only PC players on Epic Games and Steam can play the new updates, if they have experimental installed. Unfortunately. Okay, let me try this again. We got this. And you were there. Right? How did I design this? Like, how did I seriously design this and think it was okay? I need some sort of instruction manual. Okay. In fact, that's actually a pretty good shout. If I build this in first, in theory, I can't go massively wrong, right? Right? Then you need to poke out a little bit, which you've already done. That's brilliant. There we go. So you then come up by one. You then come up by one more. And when it comes to this bottom layer, I think I honestly just do this. If I could, which I can, if I just nudge it, there you go. Use nudge. Nudge is your best friend in this game. Trust me. Trust me. It is brilliant. Now, you can't come out too far, can you? No. That's fine. I'll add you there for now. Yep. That's actually okay. We can tolerate that. Let's go. And I think you need to come to here, don't you? Yes. I don't know what I'm doing. All that I know is that it will work. Eventually. Because it always does. Same thing up there now as well. Maybe come up by 1. Yep. Good. The next thing to then do is to make sure that I paint this carbon. Just like so. That's an interesting look. I don't like how blocky this part looks though. But here's a concept. Notice how I keep saying concepts rather than an idea. Even though they're both kind of a similar thing. But we're taking an idea and making something from it. Does it work all the time? No. Does it work even half the time? No. But when it works, it's alright. So then what I'll do is grab that and make sure that I select the right one this time. No, actually I need you again, don't I? Okay, maybe I can't do what I was thinking of. That's fine. Your most pressed keys in this game because of nudging. Oh yeah, nudging in this game. Can you imagine it without nudging? Because back in the day, of course, nudging wasn't a thing. And then when it was a thing, you could only nudge, was it 10 clicks? Except for blueprint designers were a bit further. And of course, there was no vertical nudging. Then that changed, and wow, what a fantastic change that was. It's quality of life changes like that which I think makes Satisfactory so good. If Satisfactory hasn't changed since 2019, it would still be popular. But it wouldn't have been this popular. It's just it's the constant quality of life changes that make the game so good, in my opinion. It's the leading factor, I'd say. Other than the fact the game in itself is just good, which helps quite a lot. Okay, then what I can do here is this. That. And same thing over here. That's probably too far. Yes. I don't like how you stick out like that. Is there anything I can do to stop it from doing that? Yes, there actually is something I can do. Carbon steel it. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay. It might potentially look quite weird in here, so what I can try and do again is layer more concrete on top of concrete and call it a building design. Stalin would be proud with the amount of concrete and brutalisque designs I'm using. Like your average 1960s, 70s brutalisque architect would just look at this and think, you know what? Not bad. Is it what I'm trying to go for? Not particular. In fact, you know what? That can probably go. I like that one. That one can stay. I'm down by 1. Okay. That functions. You overlap there a little bit. You then... What do you even do? Oh, wrong button. I've got fat fingers. Sausage fingers. And there. That's fine. Build you in the same place. Yep, I think. Then now we select this. see that just sticks out a bit too far. Last one now is up here. Oh. Ah, it was too good to be true. Me placing down an item without nudging it? I mean, what was I thinking would happen there? Come on. Okay, we're all good up there. All good down here. Great. Now let's try and get this again. I think that's in the right spot. I've only placed down one thing. If I got that wrong straight away, that'd be kind of embarrassing. Why is there a gap? Shouldn't be a gap. Because then you've got to be placed down here. Oh, wait. Yeah, nice. You know what I just said like half a second ago? If I got that wrong, that'd be really embarrassing. Guys, I got it wrong. Oh dear. It's just experimental branch being updated. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what will people find. Because they revealed a fair amount, but they definitely didn't reveal as much as update 1 point... Oh. 1.1, sorry. Is that right? Out, in... Actually, yes, because I haven't added this yet. Because in update 1.1, they added tons of stuff, didn't they? Oh, see, that still doesn't look right. Yeah, it does. That's fine, I think. I like that. Bring it down by 1. Same thing there. Is there a counter to this? Yes, there is. It's called building everything up here. Up by an extra foundation. This blueprint has surprisingly been the death of me today. I thought this was supposed to be the easiest one. There we go. Actually, you have to be asphalt now as well, don't you? Go materials. Preferably select the right one. Then also this. There we go, lovely. So you can then come in through here. We said down by 1, didn't we? So you're fine. Yep, just down by 1. But now the problem is you're not English. No, you're not centralized. There we go. Holy brain malfunction. Tune back in tomorrow where I can hopefully try and formulate a sentence. Yeah, we can try and fit that into there. You are peeking out a little bit further than what I would have liked. So let's try and move you back there, maybe. You then line up rather perfectly there with that. Oh, there's always one that has to ruin it, isn't there? Look at my lips, you're ruining it. Okay, you don't stick out now. Good. We've solved the solution. Wasn't quite rocket science, but for my standards, I suppose it could have been, honestly. It's a weird design. It is. I think what I'm actually going to try and do here is get rid of these two. Then go with something very similar. Is it foundations? Oh, it's walls, isn't it? Yeah. No. Got there in the end. Then this. I mean, it works. Kind of. It's not a very obvious entrance though, which I actually don't necessarily hate. It's also now making me think I could potentially move these further up. But then it'll be a very white wall, which I don't really want. I don't mind that though. Let's try it. Let's experiment. Then paint you carbon. Because we have to have a darker colour behind the white colour. It just gives it that nice little shadow effect, which I think looks quite clean. I prefer that. I like that. Can I go a bit further back? No. Okay. Again, it's still too wide. There has to be something there in the middle. Take away from the colours there a little bit. What if I go with a 4 meter? Looks a bit weird. I'm trying just to make shapes work right now. I'm trying to shape. But right now the shape is not shaping. Which is fine, doesn't have to shape, but preferably if it did just shape, it'd be great. You're going to go there. You're going to go here. You're going to go probably same place, honestly. And that's... There we go. Okie dokie. Okay. At least this time it's symmetrical, so that's a slight improvement. There's definitely going to have to be some changes made here, though. Why can't I seem to do it? I know that it's missing something, I just can't tell you what it's missing. Let's see. I mean, that is just basic, isn't it? I prefer it over what we just had, which is nice. When it comes to this, I'm thinking what I can try and do is that. There we go. Then glass. Perfect. Okay. Then same thing then on this side. I think it was that layer, wasn't it? I just signed. Yeah, we have to do signs, don't we? It wouldn't be one of my streams if I didn't have 4 billion signs. Dotted around the place. Great, there we go. No, I suppose I can leave you blank for now. We'll see how it goes. It's missing something. It's missing everything, I suppose. How could I have built this, but I can't make that? I suppose maybe this, but inverted, could have looked interesting. Because it's roughly going to be... Let's see. If that's about 3 wide, it's going to go here. Which leaves us with a 2 gap. Okay. I think. Is this the right... Oh, wait. What have I done? Oh, yeah. That's correct. We can just have some glass in there. I think that looks quite nice. I absolutely don't mind having glass in there at all. I just feel like there has to be some sort of ramp up there. One way that I want to try and do this... I'm not going to end the stream until I think of a concept. Like an actual good concept. I don't want to get rid of what I've just made. Because honestly, it's not necessarily bad. I just feel like the way I've executed my vision wasn't quite what I was expecting. So let's have another shot. Either of whiskey or rum at this point. A shot of anything. And I preferably want to try and move you into this corner. So how tall are we going? Go up by 5. Yep. It's for the greater good. Again, we have got an idea now. Although I did say that about an hour ago. As long as it's not going to be another update 1.0 playthrough drone port situation where it took me about, oh god, how long? 4 hours to try and design a drone blueprint, then it should be okay. The mug's annoying. There you go, simple. You're slightly taller than the rest. What? No. Vertically, we can go up by about that much, I would say. Go 1, 2. You're 2 and a bit, aren't you? So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. Nope. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wouldn't mind it lining up with that. Like so. And just make sure that comes up there by a little bit. That's not too bad. Again, it's roughly 2 2/5, which is what we're looking for. Oh yes, you can now go, can't you? Not the top one. Not the top one. Okay. That yet again can go. And we have got a little bit of wiggle room to mess around with, which is good. I'm probably going to end up saving this blueprint and then just relocating it. That could be a good idea. Relocate. Oh, lovely. How is that outside the building area? There we go. Okay. Even apparently that's outside the building area. No idea how, but that's fine. That's as far as I can go, apparently. So we'll make it work. We can easily make this work. First things first, can I select that? I can. Wow. That was quite far away. That's the first order of business. Establish some sort of area up there. Now, when it came to this area down here, what did we do? Firstly, actually, no, I suppose I don't have to do that, do I? Let's see how far down I can go. Go up by around about 10. And I think that's going to be fine. Yes. That should line up. So we did this. And now we're going to come out by a little bit extra. Nothing crazy. And again, I am still quite enjoying the amount of glass that we are using for this. I do feel like a good amount of concrete is needed here, but not this much. So the way that this is going to now work is, considering we have got glass which will be coming up from somewhere down here, what I want to try and do is grab... Oh, okay. This. And come back over here. Let's come out by 2. That'll be fine. Same thing up here. Lovely. Now, everything past this point can be concrete. I'm not too concerned about that. It is going to slightly Z-snap, but yeah, just not a concern. Okay, good. Let's get rid of this. In fact, get rid of most of this down here. Some of it is going to be readjusted slightly, but that's okay. Is that... I think that's grey, isn't it? So let's just stick with the grey. You're going to... Actually, maybe not. As a minimum, what we're going to need down here is going to be the inverted ramp. Make sure that's definitely painted correctly there. Everything here should just look quite nice and smooth. Yes. Nice and smooth indeed. Same thing now over on this side. You can stay there. I don't see much of a reason to mess this all around. Although I can make it look slightly nicer, I think. So let's see about that. Let's come out here by a little bit. In fact, a bit more than that, I'd say. About the halfway point, exactly. Yeah, we had to use an inverted ramp for that. And I think that's now completely fine. That can then all go. This can mostly go. There. You must continue. Well, this is already a better design than what we had last time. I think. I mean, it's... Well, I can tolerate its look. Let's just say that. Yep. Then what I want to try and do, just to see if it's going to work, I'm not sure, yes. Nice, and straight into there. It lines up. The riveting success. For my standards. It's weird, my standards are all over the place, and in some regards, I want everything to be as perfect as I can get it. But then with other things, if it just works, then I'm fine with it. This is going to need quite a lot of tweaking. First things first, if I was to have a door here, how's that going to work with this? I don't think it will work, actually. Actually, ooh, it could. It could. If I go with this door instead. Let's see. No, that's going to slightly overlap. That's completely fine, because what I... No, but I want it to line up with that. Could then go up roughly this height. And redo this area. Maybe bring you up here as well. I know I keep on readjusting things, but why not? There's no reason why not to. Get it right once, never have to do it ever again. Until the next time I do it again. I prefer that. Yeah, I prefer it. Half the time your standards are so unachievably high and sometimes you're so low, the build only takes like... Yeah. And then going back to the 2,000 concrete per blueprints. Rubbish. that I was making before. But oh well. I've thought of a really good concept idea. In fact, I've already built it. For my next conveyor belt highway. The only problem is it's quite tall. And I haven't decided how I can ramp it yet. In fact, haven't I built it in this playthrough? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Wait, radar tower. Oh yeah, I've got that, haven't I? Can't find it now. But I did design a new conveyor belt highway. Just for a bit of fun. That's what I do in my free time, apparently. Nice. Oh, here it is. This isn't called being distracted, by the way. This is just educational, education. Educational education. So this is how it's roughly going to look. Bear in mind, it's going to be some sort of sci-fi type city. A bunch of conveyor belts along there. I've got some lights along here, which I really like. This is my favorite part, I would say. With an interesting designed wall. Obviously on this side I haven't fully finished it. But that's how it's going to look like. Then above we can have trains and trucks. So both roads and train transport. And from the outside, this is how it looks. Of course, again, it's not done. Far from it. I just don't know how I'm going to ramp it up. But that'll be quite interesting to expand one day. Definitely not today. Because I'm yet to finish this. Yeah, I do prefer how this comes up to here. Feels weird. It does feel weird, yeah. But that's why I like it. I want it to feel slightly like, oh, that looks Okay. That's what I'm trying to go for. Oh no. How have I messed this up? Oh, I know why. So then you're going to come down to there, making sure you're still lined up. 3 X's on the 4th. Now this has to go. I wasn't a big fan of it anyway, so that's fine. And bring that up to there. There. Same thing here. Making sure you are down to here. You are... Yep, that's fine. I do prefer that. Have a nice balcony here. Let's go patterns. It's the right pattern, just in the wrong place. So I think interior-wise, this just looks better. I wouldn't mind some glass along here, potentially. Let's see. What can I add here? Go for this. Whatever this is. Oh, why is it under the map? And paint it white. It looks nice. I think it needs to jut out a slight bit. I like it though. Does it go in or out? I feel like it would make more sense if it just came out. Like this. Then inwards. There we go. Now you're in theory lined up now with that. Okay. My brain's telling me that's not the dumbest idea I've had today, which makes me assume it should be fine. There we go. And what I could do here is grab this, bring it straight down, and then connect that with that. Okay. I like this. This is providing me with ideas. That's where my speech ends. I don't know. I like this. I don't know what I've done here, but it's works out quite nicely. How does it look from the outside? Oh, that's another problem for another day. Let's just try to finish the interior. We are 2.5 hours in, and I've done what today? Other than have fun, but we're not here to have fun. No, this is work. I come home from work to play work. We know how Satisfactory is by now. But in all honesty, I have actually got a video to try and edit today. But you know what? I think this looks fine. This I'm unsure of, but I don't think I really want to try and change his entrance. Maybe this? Is there too many columns here? Let's see. I think potentially yes. Then what I want to try and do is maybe add in... Actually, no, I don't need that. Okay. Then maybe remove that. Yes. Spread out the columns a little bit more. Give it some breathing room. Then staying on this tab, let's try and implement these beam supports, which should be nice and grey. They are indeed. It's fine. This is now massive. It is. It's gigantic. The very last thing I want to try and do for today is this. How would this look? I hate it. I do. I hate it. But can I maybe try and use it in a way where I won't hate it? I think honestly, yes. I'll try and bring you up here just for a quick second. And bring you back. No, down. Well done. And bring you over to here, then one more. I know I keep saying one last thing, but one last thing. I want to try and do my regular design out here just to see what it looks like. Make sure you're all painted correctly. Just get rid of that temporarily because I just don't like it. Okay. Then behind that, what I can do is firstly add in a wall here, which I'm thinking will look nice here. Yeah. Same thing here. Great. Okay. I like these walls. I do. It's a plane. Wondering what that was. See, what I've done here is I've created something, which in English we say it's, shit. But shapes, isn't it? It's just shapes. Get rid of that again. This area is massive. What if I was to try and continue this? Okay, that will then slightly interrupt what I've already constructed over here. Not anymore. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to brainstorm something and we'll come back tomorrow. Because as of right now, my brain isn't doing anything. I like this though. What we built so far today, that's good. Tomorrow, I want to try and think of a quick solution for this. I think, honestly, just patching it up with some glass will look grand. But now, this is going to be 5 foundations wide, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in theory, I think these two are actually going to be joints together now, which would be rather interesting. Regardless, thank you very much everyone for watching. There was a lot of people tuning in today. Some new faces around here as well, so thank you guys very much for that. Let's let's get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow should be a good day. Yep. Should be a good day. I hope that you guys are actually looking forward, by the way, to update 1.2. I haven't seen any negative things talking about it. Oh, God. So we'll see what it's like. Yep. See what it's like. Yeah, thanks for watching, Finod. It's always a pleasure having you tune into the streams. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for update 1.2. Have an amazing rest of your day, stay safe, and as always, Godspeed and cheerio.